our speaker, Mr. Amit Rawat. He's a startup mentor, a consultant, a strategy investor, keynote speaker, design thinking, and digital evangelist. This word evangelist earlier on was a big question mark for me. I had to use thesaurus, I had to use dictionary, and I had to use Google Baba with Chat GPT to understand the real essence of the word evangelist. I'm sure Amit ji, you will help us understand a little more on this. Angel investor, NASCOM mentor, IoT track. So I would like to welcome, and everybody please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Amit.
Nice to see good turnout, especially on a Saturday morning. I have been like hosting, startup meetups for many years as part of my city lead. Hello. Yeah, okay. No, that's okay. If you can hear me, just kind of raise your hand from the last bench. So there are quite a few who have been forced to occupy the front benches. The others are like, from school itself, lords of the last bench, and we prefer it that way. Uh, you gain a lot of insights when you're sitting as lords of last bench because you can see the entire class. Okay, these guys cannot see back to you. So a lot of observations, and those guys whom we used to refer as lords of last bench in our school have actually gone ahead and quadrupled their wealth much beyond what we have done so far. So um, jokes apart, let's kind of start the session by coming back to the. Okay, I have had breakfast, so I have my cells charged. I can last up to 1 hour before we take a break. But as part of the keynote sessions or workshops relating to entrepreneurship and all, one of the key things that I actually learned was marketing yourself. I understand this is related to startups. This is related to managing and creating a startup, all those project management tools and concepts. But I'll tell you one thing which kind of also impressed Ms. Renuka is the word evangelist. I learned this from somebody else, picked it up and put it on my profile, and people are like, "What the hell is an evangelist?" In simple terms, it's related to the times of the missionaries. They used to come there, create a concept, and then get people converted. And now, any and every religion in the world is having their own ways of being evangelists. Even guys who are subject matter experts in a particular topic, they also create their own group and they become evangelists. I think one of the most famous words is the Church of Scientology, of which a very famous member has recently kind of left that religion. Anybody? The guy with the Mission Impossible force. He finally realized, there is no particular religion that is like probably worth following, and I should follow my own religion, which is the action adrenaline religion, and I can create. He has created his own brand. Okay, so these are words which have been picked up and put as glamour cushions. You will learn a lot of these words. Quick raise of hands, how many of you are actually entrepreneurs and how many are working? Yeah. So most of yeah, I've seen a lot of budding entrepreneurs in the last 20 years. They're still, calibrating, calculating, should I, chuck my well-paid job and jump into the world of entrepreneurship? Some of my parents did. They were like probably brave enough. Some of you have probably still some EMIs to pay before you start, jumping into entrepreneurship. Ghar gadi loan, stuff, bungalow loan, whatever, I don't know what. And by the time you finish one loan, probably your mother, father, brother, sister, or there is another responsibility coming up. You have your wife. Okay, let's take something else. Then you are into the loop of another loan. So if you don't decide right now, you will never be able to jump the ship. Um, okay, so the topic that we are missing Harshal. So when she pinged me last month, she was like, "Okay, can you kind of deliver a lecture for a monthly seminar for PMI?" I said I have nothing to do with project management because probably I left that stream from the IT sector like more than a decade back. So I've not been in touch with the project management things. What I do is manage the startups or more you can say manage the startup founders, because when you manage the founders, the founder manages their own startups. That is what I tell them how to manage the things. When we were in the corporate career, it was more of weekly meetings, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, and most of the corporates they work quarter by quarter. And I'm not referring to any particular beverage. Okay. Saturday early morning. I know it's Pune, it's not Bangalore, but still, that kind of has rubbed up from the startup culture in Bangalore to Pune. Now, people don't mind, opening up. Anyways, we're not here to discuss that. Although I have startups, I've like consulted startups who are into the beverage business, both hard and soft, and all kinds of. Uh, Coming back to something called as project management. Starting off, I just saw probably 10% of the hands going up when you said we are entrepreneurs. But I'm sure everybody has a brain, and there are like thousands of ideas which are inside a brain. Okay, so actively as of now, Saturday morning, 15 June. What is the time now? 10:30. How many of you have a startup idea? They're still in the corporate careers. They will never be entrepreneurs. Okay, everybody has an idea. You just are not probably courageous enough. Okay, forget about your EMI, your loans, your family for a while, and just raise your hands freely that I have an idea. Okay, two, three, four. If I say one more word, like forget about your husbands and your wives, your children, your grown up children, your their college responsibilities, their whatever. I'm sure everybody will raise their hands and both their hands, like you said. Any particular ideas? Any interesting ideas? I've taken a lot of workshops, day long workshops, hour workshops. A lot of people are very wary that their idea will be copied. Yes, no? But in the West, from where this startup culture actually came back to India, they don't mind sharing their ideas. Not at the school level, college level, even in a kind of a cohort where 10 startups have been selected. They will express their ideas and see what the collaboration can be done between these guys. Hello? Yeah. So, who wants to share an idea? Still not courageous enough. Yeah. Yeah. So there is a startup. Yeah. Ah, the last person you should be telling is your husband. As it is, husbands are like either say. Yeah. There was a guy who actually came to me with this, reducing carbon footprint. There is another entrepreneur we are like working. She's got a app. She recently got funded on Shark Tank season 3. Prachi. So she's been roaming around the globe, and she's not even 25, and she's representing India at COP27 and a lot of other climate change things. I think even now she's gone to the UK. So whenever we come back, we catch up at some Starbucks, Ferguson, somewhere. And there are a lot of other guys who are working right now. who want to reduce the carbon footprint. So he worked with me for a while, trying to find out how this can be achieved. Recycling plastic. So we said ki instead of huge bins or the IoT thing where another 2-3 startups from Pune are doing the thing, it's also that the moment the waste gets generated, you can. I think somebody. Okay, it comes back. Yeah. So the moment it gets generated, there should be a kind of a small personalized machine, a recycling machine, which can actually shred it, and That's exactly yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, but who owns the trademark patent? Yeah. Okay. I hope you haven't gone for a full patent. You opened yourself to a lot of. Yeah, we'll talk offline on that. Normally, I suggest a provisional patent. Okay, the lady had the idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. So there are a lot of ideas with a lot of people, a lot of youngsters I'm guiding through colleges right now. Many of them, even since pre-pandemic, have been to like CUAP, SIBM for lectures, and they're pitching competitions, EFES, all those things. Wherein, right from second year engineering students to probably first year MBA guys, they are actually, some of the colleges have actually included the entrepreneurship as a part of the curriculum, and they graded instead of the projects that they did earlier, marketing, which is like Coca-Cola versus Pepsi Cola kind of a scenario, which was like 10 years. Every year for 10 years, that was the same market case study, and they used to grade. So all the guys did was like wo time ka chat GPT. They used to take it from the earlier senior guys, copy paste it, make some changes, you know so it doesn't really serve the purpose. Same goes with, I heard a lot of engineers. Three idiot story. What they do is they take the same projects of their seniors, maybe a year back, 2 years back, 3 years back. They'll pull it from the archives and do a GT of the drawings, and engineers know what I'm talking about. And give it to the HOD and the external examiner. Now, logically, they should have been aware. They're engineers, right? They're supposed to be more intelligent than the others. They should be aware that the HOD has been in the college for 10-15 years. He knows any and every project has gone under him like for the last 10 years. How can you fool him? Even the external examiner, he kind of doesn't change for the next 5 years. He knows what year which guy. And I've been an external examiner for some of the entrepreneurship things. They keep on calling me. We know for a fact, if there is a bunch of guys, 2 or 3 or 4 max, right, in a group, the moment somebody speaks and how they speak Within 2 minutes, we know who has actually done the project, and the rest are like, okay, you guys, passing marks, speak. So she will speak present. We know it. Okay, even now with your experience, like some of you are freshers or like 2 3 years into the industry, but the guys who've been senior enough, 10 years into the industry, they know which guy has been recruited for what job and this and that, what is his project experience in the college, and how he is going to be here in the next 6 months. Everything on the probational scale has been set. So this is the way the things are. I mean, experienced people always know. With experience, you also know. Okay, there used to be a time when I used to go and pitch, some of the tech things that we used to do. Apart from my IT knowledge, I actually started as a software programmer. Yeah, that was the era when were called programmers. Okay, that is a very age old, old as gold kind of classic. Now everybody is called a techie. No matter what qualification, this, that, what experience, everyone is a techie. The programming concept has long gone. It's always like, the smart tools that are available, some of the functions that are available. So to this generation, I tell them that whatever functions you are using right now, or the basis of those things, we were the guys who designed those functions or that capabilities or that tools, writing thousands and thousands of lines of code. But that is all gone now. So we are antiques. Okay. I used to hear the same thing when I used to meet some EDP manager somewhere pitching a particular solution. And he used to say, you know what, तुम्हारा जितना तजुर्बा मेरा जितना तुम्हारा जितनी उम्र है उससे ज्यादा मेरा तजुर्बा है. Like you are like 20 22 whatever, right? I've got 25 years experience in the industry. What are you going to pitch to me? What are you going to tell me about? But the thing was, that time the EDP managers were very less computer kind of literate. I would say for a fact, very few guys. Most of them were actually, CFOs. They used to call up the network admin, system admin guy, hear out the solution, and then they would decide and come down and negotiate. So that was more of a financial solution for them rather than a tech solution. The tech solution was evaluated by the junior guy. Okay, this has happened in very big companies. I don't want to name the companies, but what we have seen in the last 20 25 years is the gradual rise of the actual tech skilled people to places where they are now the CTO or the EDP head or CIS or CIO, whatever you call it. A lot of C's in the startup world also. Okay. So we've heard of your ideas. My question is to you and to the lady there, which mentioned the wet wipes and everything else. What are you doing with your idea? Have you taken the first step? Okay. The first step is like giving royalty to somebody. That is more like a NGO ka kaam, charitable work. The thing is, for you, the IP value holds value. Yeah, right. So, and the production, and you give a part of the sales to the ITI guys. That's more important. Either it's the ITI kids or the college, that you decide. Okay. Yeah. And how much percentage? Oh. Then we have to talk, because I've like prepped enough guys for Shark Tank, and yeah. So that is a critical question to be answered and to be understood before you actually pitch it somewhere else. Uh, any other ideas that you have? Anybody has started an entrepreneur? You don't have to stand up. This is not like a school class. Okay. 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 Yeah. the the color, the taste, the size. Yeah. Right. 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 And you're eating organic vegetables. So t-shirt, forgot. Anyways, uh, any other ideas? Any other? Yeah. Right. So you're basically talking of a waste management, social impact kind of startup, right? I'll tell you one of the startups I'm helping right now. He is a guy who, with corporate experience, has now left his job, but with his mother's colleague, he has actually created a startup which grabs your fruits and vegetables, which you kind of try to dispose of, or from market yards. Okay, they bring that thing and they put that in a process. Okay, ferment it and whatever all these things with Rita, non-Rita kind of Ojasya. It's called Ojasya, and they make cleaners which are organic. Initially it used to also kind of smell because it's made from the fermented fruits and vegetable waste, so there's a odor, but it's still better than the typical phenyl smell. Now I've told him to put in some certain odors, certain scents, smells, perfumes, so that we get used to the kind of expensive things that we use, harpic and all. But all these guys actually use a bit of chemicals. This is directly from fruits and vegetables, so that's a direct extract, so it's completely organic. So probably I can get you in touch with that guy and see what synergy you can have with him. Okay. Any other entrepreneurs? I saw some few hands going up. Yeah. Yeah. हाउसफुल ऐसा बोल देने का तू do we charge a penalty for all those guys who came in late after 10 o'clock? Yeah, another good idea. I'm good at generating ideas. Yeah. 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 that people are more and more motivated on their own to do good. Because I see a lot of criticism that okay, मैं हर बार अच्छा गाड़ी चलाता हूँ, एक ही बार मैंने 2000 का बिल, right? That is something. So it is a problem which can be solved by a simple app. Like you can, simple app also for that. And looking for that, okay, can be considered as CSR. Correct. And a lot of areas are there. It can be even the debt dustbin collection. Yeah. You do separate out and all these things are detectable. Yeah. So basically, the Prachi who has built up the Cool the app, Cool the Planet kind of scenario, it's mostly giving you brownie points, either you or your company, exactly, whatever social impact you're doing or reducing carbon footprint. Yes. Even if you stop the water for like from dripping, yes, yes, for 5 minutes, you save amount of. So she has kind of already done that, but I'm not sure if the traffic police will compensate you in any way. That that 2,000 rupees is gone. The thought is basically yeah, okay, look for maybe let's say insurance agent or something who will be more sure, good driver. Sure. Thinking these things. Yeah, yeah. That's the idea. And it's a reverse people. If somebody is making signal, make him do this. Instead of 2,000, that person should pay 5,000. Police might be amenable. Yeah. Yeah. Not is maybe not penalizing, but rewarding. Yeah. Rewarding for doing the good things. Rewarding or making them realize, certain other things. But certainly, the case that you drive a Porsche at 200 kilometers per hour, kill two people, and you're told to write a 300 word essay. Okay. Yeah. Similar. Yeah. You will have to use crypto there. None of the government guys will agree with you. Okay. Can we move on to the next? Yeah. So basically, this is what you do for those who have ideas but still not started or incorporate whatever. Okay. You have a concept. You have to first define a concept. That is why I asked 2-3 people what the idea is. They have to briefly define in one line, one para, one page. I always talk to a first time kind of entrepreneur or a guy at idea stage. He or she has to write down on paper. We still kind of prefer pen paper diary kind of a scenario, or create a ppt or word document, send me something or show me something when we are having coffee, and that means you have defined your idea. We can refine the idea further, but you have to first define it yourself. Okay. Got a guy call from a guy who is an acquaintance of one of my friends in Pune, and he's based in Noida now. After 25 years, he's thought of an idea. He gave me a call yesterday. I said, define it, write it. 12 o'clock at night, he sends me an email, and I woke up on notification. Startup guys, they send me messages. आग लग गया 12 बजे रात को. Wait, this is India. You still have time. So then I take my revenge of the nerds. I wake up at 4. I send them a text or a message or a email or whatever. This is your solution. सर 4 बजे सुबह, बोला 12-1 बजे तुम लोग मेरे को पिंग कर सकते हो. Why shouldn't I take my revenge? So you have to define it. Okay, sometimes with the basic prototype or a MVP, what we call it. Okay, you launch it. Go ahead and launch it. Like she already launched it without even taking the legal and the financial ramifications. What will happen further? Somebody will grab it and kind of go away. Launch it. Now the issue is every first time launch may or may not be successful. So what if it fails? I remember the line from the second Steve Jobs movie. If it crashes, it crashes. You're not perfect. You're not God. Okay. We are all biological born. None of us are aliens. Okay. Are humans. We are bound to fail. Some bit of it. We might achieve 70%, 80%. But there is going to be some failure. It is not going to be a perfect launch. Whatever we thought. What do? You come back. You build it up. And then you test it. And then when you see, is this the concept? Is this the definition that I wanted? And then go to the circle back again, define it, build it, launch it, relaunch it. Okay, so there is, we know the concept of 7th, 8th standard physics, alpha, beta, gamma. So in product launches, many guys in the corporates working, right? You define your prototype, you build it, and you suddenly launch into the market. You launch it somewhere, okay, make a test drive. You have created a vehicle, do a test drive, a crash test, any and everything, rebuild back again, put all the specifications back again, fine tune it, launch it till it's kind of ready for the market. The customer shouldn't be complaining. Even after that, there are huge complaints from the customers, or sometimes the vehicle is recalled by very big companies. Okay, it happens. Can you move on to the next slide, please? So this is, pretty much the journey of an entrepreneur. I didn't want to actually waste time because I've in my couple of decades I have actually got bored of PPTs. I don't even look at a PP the next time. Okay, so this is one of the things that I grabbed. Okay, right now those guys working in the corporates, they have an idea, but they are at a comfort level, still at a very comfort level. The day you leave your job is where the chaos begins. Okay, not only the financial chaos, okay, but the thing is you are pretty much jumping into the unknown. Okay, this is the unknown where you may or may not get a failure, you may or may not get a success at the first try. What carries you through is the passion. Okay, the passion will help you overcome the challenges. Okay, the challenges can be overcome only by having a great work ethic, which again goes back to passion. And what makes you successful in the shorter or the longer run will be only one thing. That's it. You may have an idea, she may have shared an idea, somebody might copy the idea, he took an idea for a homophobic kind of, vertical terrace gardening or whatever you call it, right? Okay. A lot of people have ideas. YouTube videos are there available. You can just pick up an idea from there and create it, recreate it, refine it. A lot of people has had the first mover advantage, but they still failed because companies after them kind of repeated the idea, refined it, and executed it better than the first mover companies. So what helps you again is the execution. Now the part where Harshal told me, she told me like you have to also attach it to project management. I said okay, if it's a PMI chapter thing, then I better attach it to. So if you can go to the next slide, is how do you manage a startup? Now there will be a panel discussion where Samar and Vinay would be there and they would be sharing what they did in the past year or 2 or 5 years or whatever, right? Basically, this is all defining. This we are just defining. Project management cannot be understood in 10 minutes. Okay, I have like what 5 minutes left, right? With the session, I'll just go through the things which is basic definition. This you can pick up from anywhere, any author, any project management expert, on Google Baba to hey for any and everything. Basically helps you to streamline the processes and provide the platform for team members to collaborate on. Something which when we have having an introduction session, just before the start, I managed to talk to Renuka, and she gave me a textbook definition of what I do in a project management team, and cut. बोला full रट्टा मार के आए हैं. This is project management. You are apt. Then she told me that I am trying to move from purchase management to actual project management. Okay. Then you will have an even better definition, textbook definition of project management. Okay. This is more or less again. If you go to the next slide, wherein all these project management concepts, tools. I'm not going to discuss the tools, but good project management is creating an ecosystem because there are a lot of stakeholders. When I asked her how many team members are there, she's like 8. What do they do? This. Do you have a touch with the customer? No. What do you do? Then discuss internally. Then I said, that is why corporates with 1,000 people are like elephants. They move from one place to the other place to the other department, then coming back here. Startups, how many team members do you have? 35. 3. They are all rounders. They have to do any and everything under sun, bootstrapping. Okay. Also, when you're doing all these things, you create scalable and repeatable process which are more agile and efficient. So again, agile comes into place, which is actually now a process or a project management concept. Agile. Okay. Uh, it basically helps to reduce the friction of shifting between multiple projects and tools, foster a transparent environment where every team member is in the loop. This is more important. You can use all the tools, all the process in the world, but every team member has to know what the hell is going on. If you have a 1,000-member team, you will know just what happens in this small figure of this hand, right hand, belonging to this body. Okay, just this one. That's how guys like Microsoft, Amazon, all these guys actually do. Okay, if we go to the next one, okay, we are actually looking at limited resources. Why I actually put this slide in is because of the fact that guys working in, like, you work in JCB, some other guys, what is the strength of your company? The employee strength of your company. How many people in your company? Do you even know that? Or you're like, मेरे team में 8 लोग हैं बस. We get a salary on the 30th. Okay, in DVS, HSBC, whatever bank account. Okay, I'm done. I come out of the gate, I log in, I log out, biometric. I don't even know what the hell is going on in my company. What is the strength in any of your companies? 10,000. Is it in Pune itself? 5,000 in Pune. बाकी किधर है? Work from home. You can't because it's a JCB, it's a production unit, right? IT companies, anyone? 60,000. Cognizant? Infosys. In Pune itself. Yeah, right. Even in India itself, right? Also, for the record, Infosys has a larger base of IT and ITS employees in Pune than in Bangalore. Can you tell me why? Employee. Okay, Bangalore has actually more facilities because it was created as an IT hub, the Silicon Valley of India. I'll tell you an emotional decision behind it. Pehla pyar. I'm not talking about Sudha Murthy as Pehla pyar, the entrepreneurship part. Because down the road, the parent company Infosys started in Pune, in a Bangalore near my place, in a bungalow, not Bangalore. You got so Bangalore with all these concepts. In a bungalow near my place, okay, right here, a kilometer here from this place. And one of the chief reasons or the main reasons he actually shifted or was like forced to go to Bangalore was he met a guy during a journey, and that guy was from Bangalore. I think still remains to be the largest shareholder in Infosys. He told them, if you want me to fund you, you have to move to Bangalore. So उसका पहला प्यार, पहला बच्चा सब लेके they shifted to Bangalore. Okay, so that is one of the gross I have towards the other city. You can move to the next, wherein I think what 2 minutes, yeah. So all these things, right? Like at the agile methodology, things like Kanban, Scrum. Earlier we used to have ISO 9000 and God knows what all standard quality practice. I actually did a short course on that as well. But good morning. So these methodologies actually help you to pivot. Now you don't have to actually go and search for thesaurus or Oxford Dictionary to know what is a pivot. Okay, pivot is just frankly a jump or a diversion. Okay, it's not a distraction, it's a diversion. If this road is blocked, what do? I come back, go to the other road, not watch a video or write an essay, but no, go to jail. So then, can move to the next one. Scrum again. How many of you have actually used this Agile Scrum regularly, right? Weekly, monthly, fortnightly? Everyone. IT wale to sab. They are actually forced to use this. Uh, in fact, the work from home started coming to the office because they missed on their Agile and Scrum things, right? daily scrum. Okay. So now 2 or 3 days max, right? You have to be in office physically. Okay. Scrum particularly effective for startups dealing with software development or product design, where incremental improvements and feedback are critical. Can you move to next? Um, अरे, yeah, and he is a startup guy. What is lean? In simple language, lean is slim. इतना technical definition मत दो. Okay. So what are we when we are following the lean principle? There is a lean startup methodology. A book written by Eric Ries. Actually gave a lecture in COP regarding this. What it basically defines is start small, start building up, scale, and then keep on escalating and expanding your teams. That is the lean model methodology. Use techniques like BML, you know, and continuous validation is required, continuous testing is required, and the customer feedback helps you to build a better product with every version. IT guys might be knowing they do like 3 versions a week. Okay. It lets you identify areas where you can eliminate, optimize flow and overall efficiency. Yeah, thank you. That's my name. Any questions?
Yeah, I just was about to say, you can bombard him with as many questions as he wants,
Yeah.
but specific later, generic now.
Yeah.
Generic you can.
No money in the account for an IT guy. Impossible. Not enough. Yeah. You have to have. I would say if it's a good enough concept, try to find co-founders. So they will also kind of share the burden with you. They will also partake in the financial obligations, liability, etc. To write a plan, I don't think you require money. To execute a plan, that is where you require the money. Okay, and you will find out why I'm pointing towards these two guys later. If somebody really believes in an idea, the first guys you actually tell it is your friends and family. I have like guided or provided consulting to guys where the partners, their colleagues from school, college, their colleagues at the office, they got interested in the idea, they became co-founders. Okay. Also, the part in wherein friends and family have actually played around before an angel investor stepped in. The rounds of funding were actually provided by the family, and the first investor usually is the father because his ears have been bitten by the mother. You must do something for the kid. He's finished his graduating. This thing. Yeah. If the mother is earning insult, she'll like, okay, don't tell your father. You've seen this. Okay. But if serious money is involved, then you have to. The first pitch you ever make is to your family. You have to first convince that you're good enough, whatever. It could be your mother, father,
Okay.
or yeah, funding का बात हुआ तो गायब हो जाता है मैं. Cold era of funding. Winter. So you should talk to people, share the ideas. Maybe they'll get involved. They'll provide you the necessary things. Do things which are necessary for the incorporation of the company. Or till you build a prototype, you don't need to sometimes incorporate the company. But when you are trying to get incubated, okay, they have a requirement that you should have an incorporated entity. 1% company, private limited, LLP, something of that sort. That is where you actually get serious about things. And depending on the sector that you have jumped into, there are certain compliances in place. So please again go on Google, try to research, ask people around what are the compliances for that particular sector. If you enter that sector without necessary compliances, there are authorities, the next day your shop will be shut. वो बैठे ही रहते गवर्नमेंट वाले देखने के लिए. You don't have a food license, fine, this fine, that fine, shut down, whatever. So make sure the compliances are in place before you actually start off. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Okay. For example, if you are doing a food startup, right? You do certain things which you create a burger. Okay. How good you know is the burger, the quality of the burger? How do you know? You will always say it's good. Okay. Your families will say great. Who is your real customer? The family? Who will pay you for your burgers or whatever? Electric vehicle. Does your friend, your family member come and praise you just because you're the family member, or is it really a good vehicle? Okay. Have you taken it to some training ground somewhere, some customer base somewhere? Have you set up a stall somewhere? Okay. To get customer feedback. If they are willing to pay, that is where you say, okay, this is successful. But this is again just a prototype. Okay. We'll be coming out. Usually, if it's a electric vehicle or some hydrogen cell technology or whatever some of the startups I've helped are doing, it takes about anywhere between 6 months to 2 years to come out with the finally product market fit thing into the market. So product startups take a long time. If it's a software, probably 3 to 6 months time, you will have the alpha beta versions. You are out. Give it to people to test it. 15 days free evaluation. Okay. How many of everybody uses a laptop, desktop, right? Yeah. You use an antivirus, except for the guys who use a iMac or a MacBook. How many people use an Apple device, right? All the others use normal गरीबों का Windows, right? वही बोलना पड़ेगा. I still use the same. You have to use a antivirus. That antivirus is safe for a year. Okay. But first, when you are a new user, they give it to you 1 month evaluation pack free. Why do they do it? They have the software ready. It's been there in the market. Millions of users are already using, say, Pune ka startup, Quick Heal. It's from Pune. It's one of the best known in India and worldwide now. Okay. So Sanjay Katkar and all this started like 20 years back. Okay. They still give it to you free, the new user. Why? Mafia does the same. Drug dealers do the same. Gutka guys do the same. They give it free so that you get habituated. Okay. And then they tell you how good this is. Of course, Quick Heal is much better than your Gutka. Okay. Even for your health and the health of your computer. Okay. But it actually stops virus. That has taken them years to develop and fine tune with versions coming out. But this is the journey of the startup. Now they can give it for free for a month. You evaluate. You will be paying after you evaluate the product. You find it this is really good, stopping viruses, stopping malwares, and this and that. That is their way of getting the market. So I don't know what startup is he running or what product is he running. What? Yeah. So initially he'll have to give it free evaluation for like 15 days, 1 month. Were a lot of startup founders who actually wanted to give it free for 6 months, 1 year. I said no, nothing doing, not beyond a month. Okay, either you will use it or you won't. End of the matter. If it's good enough, they'll get addicted to it. They'll find ways that simplify their life, remove the stress from their lives, the fintech life, and they will start subscribing to it. That is how you earn the money.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Amit Rawat.